Hello everyone, welcome to this very important session of creating a mapping document. So creating mapping document is one of the very important and primary steps of a Tableau developer. Okay, so once we get a requirement from the client, what we do is generally we create a mapping document which will act as a primary source for our all the next steps, like what kind of calculations we are doing and all. And this was one of the a requested thing on my channel where everyone wanted to know how we create a mapping document here. So for that, what I have done is, as a first step, I've created one requirement document. So assume you have got a requirement document, something like this that you are seeing on screen. So you might get a very clear or a detailed requirement like the one that you're seeing on screen, or sometimes it can be descriptive like below. So create dashboard and all. So in some cases they will also specify what columns you need, and what you need to do, or in some cases they will directly describe what they want. That's it. So here, so the client is stating that sample superstore is a table that we need to consider, and current column that is available here in that table is customer name, where we have to display that as patient name, and order ID should be displayed as patient ID. Now you see these are straightforward fields, so only a change in name is required. Okay, so next is category. So category, here they are asking to consider only furniture category. Other categories are currently sorry, this is not in scope. Okay, so that kind of clear cut information we got. Sales, they want to display as expenditure. Now they have given in the requirement document like expenditure should be displayed in km format. Now I got little worried what is this km, k and m format means, because we will be very you know uh, new to what client is stating or requesting. It is always better to have a communication with him and or get in touch with him to know what this k and m means. So then I got in touch with him and he said, okay, k means thousands and m means millions. So generally whenever some sales is happening, he don't want to display the actual value. Instead of that, he wants to see the values in thousands, like 1k, 2k, 1m, or 2m, like that. Okay, so next is profit. Show only amount. Negative and positive should be created as a separate column as C and C or D. Now again here we got one more requirement where client is stating that he does not want to see any sign on the amount. Okay, he only want to see the number, and then he is also telling that there should be one extra column that should be created on top of it, which should have a C or D. Okay, with credit or debit, something like that. So again, next is region, and in region he's giving a description like region should be displayed as zones, where north is zone 1. So here he has given again a calculation field that we need to create based on region. So we need to apply this. Next is again, order date should be displayed as inpatient date. Okay, and here he is stating that display in month format. So like that, we got clear cut information on the different fields that we had to consider. So after that, he's stating that he's requesting us to create two dashboards here. So one showing trend of inpatient and outpatient. Okay, so that is the first worksheet that we need to create under dashboard one. And second is second, some options that he's telling is that user should have option to select year and state. Okay, so two options. So we have to create a quick filter here. Again, user should have options to navigate to patient details. So that is something that he is requesting here. So very minimal requirement here. And in dashboard 2, he stated that when clicked on, number of patients admitted in dashboard 1 should have drilled down to dashboard 2. So he's expecting a drill down functionality where in that from dashboard 1, if he's clicking, it should take him to dashboard 2, which will have details of all the patients. So that is the the requirement of the customer. Okay, now we got this requirement. So let us, as the first step, what we will do is we will create a mapping document, which is the main agenda of our video. So now what I'm doing is, so we need all the columns of this table, first thing, right? Now where can we get? So if at all we are using like a table, then we can go to that respective database like your Snowflake or your SQL Server or your Redshift and get the column names. Like you can use a describe command here. So I'll just write it down here. Okay, sorry, this is read only. So I'll just open my notepad. So you can use describe command, describe table name to get the details, or you can also export table details using your DDL functionality that will be available. So you can use that options to export table name, but here because it is sample superstore, what I'm doing is I'm going to show you something important and useful here. I'm connected to sample superstore as an example here. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm just saving this as let us take, I'll save it on this thing and I'll save it as mapping document. Okay, so one shortcut. Now we want all the column names of sample superstore, right? That is the requirement. I'm going here and I'm clicking on this and I'm opening it with Notepad++. So opening in your XML format. Now if you see, if you scroll down here, we got all the information. So this is again one of the very useful tips that you might get in real time, where sometimes customer or anyone might ask you how to get all the details of table. Either you can connect to your database and get the details, or you can get it from here. Now we got this, we got our column name and we got the data type. Two important things that we need to consider. Okay, so I'm going to create a mapping document here. So I'll go here. Sorry, maybe not here. I'll go here and I'm going to start creating. So I'm writing it as source fields. And I'm going to write as field name and I'm going to write it as data type. Okay, so let us copy this. I'll go here and I'll just, so I'll copy all of this. And I'm going to paste here. That is one thing. Or so for now, I'll only consider what we need. So we need order ID. So I'm going here and pasting it here. So, and then we need customer name. Customer ID is not there. Customer name we need. So I'm taking customer name and pasting it here. So like that, you can copy all that you need and you can add it in your mapping document. So technically we will have all the details of the table, like entire columns and all. So here, because we are just working on a working prototype, so I'm considering only few columns here, but it will, the more detail you write or add, the better it will be for you. So, and then ship date we have. So okay, so ship date I'll write it here, and order date I'll write it here, and then we have sales and profit, two things we have. So I'll take our sales and profit. So let us just take data type randomly. So I'm not so on the based on names I'm taking string. It is state is also string, region is also string, category is also string. This is date, date, data type. Okay, so same, this is also date, and this is like float of 2 decimals, assume. So I'm just writing float of 2, but you can actually copy the actual data type from the table. Okay, now our source fields are ready. Okay, So let us just do little formatting here. Sorry, home. Okay, now we need to have our target fields that we are calling. So I'm writing it as target fields, and here I'm writing it as here we'll get field name and calculations if any. And you can have a description as well. If at all you want to have any comments on the field, then you can add it here. So first thing is, okay, so this is target field. So again, here you'll get proposed name, actually proposed name. So this will get here. Okay, now first is order ID. So we'll go to our requirement document and see what should be the order date here. Order ID is patient ID. So just copy this and paste it here. So just patient ID, something like this. Okay, so customer name is patient name. So we'll create something like this because it is simple aliasing. I know we don't need to have any calculations here. Okay, so here you can write any comments as per the requirements shared. Need to display order ID as patient ID. Something to clarify why you have done this. Okay, so same here, I'll write it here, and here instead of patient ID, I'll write it as patient name. Okay, so these two are very straightforward, and we did not write any calculations here, so this will be blank. So again, state, we don't have any calculations, so I'm writing as it is. Again, so here now when it comes to region, we have a calculation here. Now he's stating regions should be specified as zones. So name is zone. Okay, and here we need to write a calculation. So what I'll do here, first I'll go to my Tableau and I will just check if my logic is working or not. So for that, what we need to do, we need to write the calculation for this. So I'm just going to create a calculation called as zone, and case, I'm writing case statement to see if that will work or if that is feasible or not. So something that you need to test for all the requirements that you get. So here it is very straightforward and we know it will work. That's okay. But in some cases, we have to make sure whatever the client is expecting, that is possible or not, something kind. So when it is central, it is, so I'm randomly classifying here. Okay, then it is zone 1. When it is east, then it is zone 2, and when it is south, then it is zone 3. When it is west, then it is zone 4. Okay, and end it. Now we have written a calculation. Let us see if that is working or not. So I'll go and check if that will work or not. So I'll take zones here and I'll copy paste it here. Okay, so it is working. So now what we can do is just copy this entire thing and you need to paste it here. Okay, so I'm pasting it here to show. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, so now here you can write comment categorizing as per the requirement received to display regions as zones. That is something we can write here. Okay, done. So here, okay, we can also have one more field here. So I'm just insert. Okay. So this is target field name, right? So okay, so I didn't copy anything here. Okay, so here proposed name. So here we can also have proposed data type. Okay, so here it is proposed data type is the same string, so we did not change. This also it is string, we did not change. It is state, we need not change, and this also we need not change here. Next is category here again. So what is the proposed name? Let us go and check in our requirement document. So for category, only furniture category should be selected. So again, so target field name will remain same. So it's category and string. And here calculation is, so we can write category is equal to furniture, something like that. So need to consider only furniture category as per requirements received, something like this you can write. And to add more detail, you can also write your date here. So I'll write it as last modified date, so that we can keep a track when were the changes done here, last time you made changes here. So that kind of thing you can track it here. So I will write it today's date, and next time whenever you are changing again, you can update it. So whenever you open the document again next time, you know when did you modify this document last time. So based on that, you can take necessary actions, because in development project what happens is we get continuous requirements, or requirement gets continuously updated. So today client might tell like here consider only furniture category, but while we are in middle of development or middle of testing, he'll come back and say that okay, you need to consider technology as well. Something that kind of situation is always possible. So you need to accommodate that changes in your development. So when you're doing that, you also need to update your mapping document as well. So this will help you track that. So now you will know when was the latest requirement received and when was this updated. So based on that, you can go and check if anything, like everything is in sync with the requirement or not. Okay, so this is like your primary sheet here. So again, order date. So here if I go and check, so display date, order date as inpatient date, and display it in it month format. Do not show timestamp. So this is something that is users are requesting. So what is the display name here? It will become inpatient date. Okay. So again, this will be date only without timestamp, and calculations, what will write? Month of inpatient date. Okay. So need to display date in month format without timestamp. So again, here we might get one question like, user is telling display the date in month format. Okay, but does he need names of the month, or numbers of the month, or abbreviations of the month, or first letter of the month? So that's something that we can connect with him and categorize, like 01 or January or JN or J. Need to, sorry. So because we are not aware of the information, what I'm writing is need to get clarification. Need to get clarification from the customer. Something that I will write. Or you don't need to mention customer name if you don't want. So something that you can write like this. Okay. So same for ship date is something like OP date. outpatient date, and here again date format, and it is month of OP date. Same here also, because we have the same question for both the things, we can simply copy this and paste it here. Okay, now again sales is, if I go back to our requirement document here, sales display as expenditure, and expenditure should be displayed in K and M format. So here what you'll do, you'll write it as expenditure and number, like okay, so integer format I'll write. Okay, so here what are the calculations? So you need to write calculations for K and M. So this you can do it at a Tableau level, or you can also write calculation to display value in K and M. So there is a calculation for this where you can derive thousands or millions based on the value that we are getting. Okay, so if not directly, you can go to your Tableau, and let me show that as well. You can take that cells, drop it on label, you can click on this and go to format options. Here you will have option whether to consider the units or not, display units here. You see thousands, millions, billions. So this is something that you can use from here directly, or you can write calculation to get this. Okay, so two approaches. So if at all you want to write, you can write it here under calculations and describe. If not, you can use the feature of Tableau. Same thing now again for profit. So here for profit, did we have any requirement? Okay, show only amount, negative and profit should be displayed as new column. Now we are creating a new column here. So see, so what I'm doing, so target name is only profit. So here uh, again this will be of integer type. So what will be calculation for this? It will be apps of my profit. Okay, now I'm deriving one more field here, and like say C or D, I'll write. Okay, again this will be of a string type, and now again we need to write a calculation for this. So let us go and test that as well. So what I'll do, instead of sales, I will take profit and I will drop it here. Okay, so we don't have any negative profits. So let us take something that has. So I'm taking state to see if we have anything. Okay, so we have some negative values. Fine, that is okay. We have negative values. Now we don't want to show this. So what I can do, I can directly double click here and I will write apps of this number. Okay, now you see there are no negative numbers. Now we need to write credit or debit. So C or D, I'm checking for that. If sum of profit greater than 0, then I'm displaying it as or sorry, else it is C, and it. Now I'll check this if it is working or not, and I'll drop here something like this. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll just copy this here, copy this and paste it under your calculation. Okay, so now your requirement document is almost ready. So we need to do little formatting to make it look good. So this is one. So Okay, so I'm using web version, so I cannot do much formatting here, but you can format this to look good. Okay, so that is how a mapping document is created in real time based on the requirement we receive. I hope you find this video useful. If you like it, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.